Welcome back to a Numbers on the Board YouTube exclusive.
Numbers on the board, yes.
We back to talk about some of the best teams to never win an NBA championship. The only team I'm excluding that you cannot bring to the table is the 73-9 Warriors.
Yeah, that
obviously, right? Obviously, they're the best team to never win it.
I mean, blew a 3-1 lead, so
yeah,
are they really that great?
Yes, 73 games tell us yes.
Yeah.
But who y'all thinking?
First thing that came to my mind was the homegrown Chicago native, Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
Youngest MVP ever, Defensive Player of the Year, anchoring that defense, and Joakim Noah. Coach of the Year, and Tom Thibodeau. They never got it. They never won it, and they always came up short. Unfortunately, they always had to go through the best player of all time in LeBron James. It's always been tough. So everybody, a lot of teams in that West, in that East, didn't get over that hump because of him. That Pacers team was very good with George Hill, David West, Paul George. Like, there were some really good teams in the East at that time, but no one was good enough to beat LeBron James. And it's just crazy to think that a team with an MVP and a Defensive Player of the Year in the Chicago Bulls weren't able, they still didn't have enough.
The best chance they had was the year they the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose only played like 36 games or so he was coming into the playoffs relatively fresh. They go against the Philadelphia 76ers. Obviously, we know what happens to Derrick Rose in that series. But I went back recently and was like, is my Bulls bias showing? Like, we're experts predicting the Bulls to win? Nah, not really. I think I read one BR article that had them in the finals but losing to OKC. So even though they were the 1 seed,
that would have been a nice finals.
A lot of people weren't believing in the Bulls, but damn it, I believed in them.
If OKC wins that finals, man, trajectory of history changes.
It just changes everything.
Yeah. Everything.
Yeah. Well, if OKC doesn't blow that 3-1 lead to the Warriors, that also changed. They had a few chances.
They sure did.
So like, it's unfortunate that they always came up short.
What do the Warriors and Steph's legacy look like if Kevin Durant wins there and doesn't go?
It looks a little different.
Yeah,
it looks a little different for sure. Because that's their first championship, right? When they beat LeBron without Kevin Love and Kyrie.
Yeah. And then they lose a 3-1, and then they get Kevin Durant, and then So, I love your answer, and the reason I love your answer is because it brings up a lot of other teams. I really do think that Pacers team was really, really good. That had Paul George. You had George Hill, Lance Paul, David West, Roy Hibbert. I really like that team a lot.
It's a fun one.
And all those, like Roy Hibbert, that was like pinnacle Roy Hibbert.
Yeah.
Lance Stevenson, that was like all-star Lance Stevenson. David West was still money from mid-range. Like, so they still had a really nice roster, but
LeBron.
The Heatles.
My answer is 2005, 2006 Phoenix Suns, 7 seconds or less, Steve Nash and those guys. Lost in the Western Conference Finals to the Mavericks.
Yeah.
But even outside of that specific year, just that little time frame, that little span that they had of 7 seconds or less, I love those teams, and it just seemed like they could never get over that hump. I know they had the chance where they still had Joe Johnson and whatnot, and I remember he hurt his eye, and then I remember when Robert Horry hip-checked Steve Nash, the guys left the bench, they got suspended. That really affected that series, and it's always like, what happens if Amari and those guys don't leave the bench and are available to play for that full series? Do the Suns eventually get over that hump and can make it to the finals? But when you just talk about best team, exciting, that Suns team does it for me. They just had all of the offense in the world, the pace and space in an era where that wasn't promoted so much. And it was good to see the Warriors win because the Warriors kind of took that type of style and showed that you can win with that. Because before then, it was like, that is not winning basketball for championships. It's just like fun to watch.
Yeah. The difference is the Warriors just had Stephen Curry, who's like the best ever at that.
He is.
On that same page, though, I also felt the same way a little bit with the Rockets, too, with James Harden. They always were a very good team, 50-plus win team. James Harden always putting on an MVP-like season, just couldn't really get over that hump. I'm still going to go another route. I always kind of like those Clippers teams with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan.
Lob City era.
It just seems they always kind of just missing something, and part of the reason was health. Health was
too,
right. We know game 7 against the Spurs, Chris Paul gets it done. Can't
On
play
one
no
leg,
too.
yeah.
One
That's one of
leg,
my
too.
favorite shots ever.
That's
On one leg.
that's so crazy because
Yeah.
like the Spurs were the 7th seed, they were the 2 seed, and I was looking at that. I was like, the Spurs can come out on this. They had they one chance, and then Chris Paul on one leg just sent
In his
them boys
post game
home.
interview, he knew it was over with.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it was a lot of emotion in that.
It
One
felt
shot.
like it was always health. They couldn't have the guys when they were in the post run or trying to get through the playoffs. And then two, it felt like they were always searching for their wing and they just couldn't find it.
Could not find
Whether
that
it was
perfect wing.
try to get Wesley Matthews, Matt Barnes, or go get
Paul
Pierce.
old Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
Didn't he do Turkaloo? Give it a try.
Hedo Turkoglu, Jared Dudley,
Man, they
Jared
was-
Dudley,
Hill,
yeah.
They went through the gauntlet, boy. They was trying to find
Chris
it.
Douglas Roberts,
Ugh. Shout out to him. The short shorts, a thing.
Ma Bute.
Lou
Oh,
Moot
man.
ain't heard that name in a
I haven't
minute.
heard that name in so long.
Yeah. My team is a more recent one. When Kyrie and KD ended up with the Brooklyn Nets, things were scary. Then they added James Harden, and things were I think they only played 200 minutes together.
Which is crazy. That's so crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But in those 200 minutes, they were dominant. Dominant.
Man, that team was beautiful.
That team, you could not convince me that team was not winning one championship
Yeah.
watching them play. And they did it. Things happened. The world shut down. Things changed. Toe was on the line in the playoff series.
I forgot the toe on the
Toe
line.
is on the
toe-
line.
The
Big
toe on the
toe
line
ass.
stopped
Everything.
If he just gets that toe behind the line, maybe that changes the whole team.
Yeah, because they were going against the team that won the championship.
Yes.
So it could have been
Giannis
him.
never get that ring. We looking at him crazy.
I don't know if he's in Milwaukee right now if he don't get that first ring. So it's a lot of dominoes effect. But they had a nice team, and they had, of course, the three-headed monster in those guys. And you kind of questioned before, how they going to get it done? Ball dominance, one ball. They made it work. They had like young Nicholas Claxton, Bruce
Yeah.
Brown is on this team. Your boy LaMarcus Aldridge is on this
he
team.
was.
So
Yes, he
they
is.
had an adequate amount of depth with the 3 stars, but they couldn't do it, man. We had a hammy injury here, an ankle injury there, and then boom, Kyrie Irving requested a trade, and now he's in Dallas. And 2 weeks later, Kevin Durant is on the Spurs, on the Suns.
And
So
then Kyrie also didn't play in home games. He was only playing in road games.
Yeah.
So like
what a weird time. What a weird time.
Super weird time.
Yeah. I remember his first game back against the Indiana Pacers. That was the Lance Stevenson game, too. Lance Stevenson had a really big night.
I remember when he cooked your Bulls, Kyrie.
Nope, I don't.
Man,
guards typically
Couldn't have
do-
happened.
I don't know how, but the guards typically do cook the Bulls.
other teams that crossed my mind, you got to think of the '90s, Stockton, Malone, the Jordan thing. Just Jordan said,
Jordan
nah,
just stopped so much.
nah.
Hey, Kenny the Jet Smith said if Jordan didn't retire, they still would have won.
He's supposed to believe it.
Yeah.
Because what he gonna say? Nobody was stopping the dream. Just throw it down. Throw it down. He gonna do it.
We believe Warriors in 08. That was a nice, fun team. Darren Williams, Carlos Boozer with the
Oh,
Jazz.
yeah.
That was a nice team. Yeah, there were some teams, man.
Yeah, there's some good ones out there.
That just shows you. Just because you got the talent, don't mean you got everything you need.
You need
to
help.
win the Larry O.B. Good
You need
A little
coaching.
bit of
luck.
luck. Yep.
You need good matchups. You need good coaching. You need everything. The stars have to align, even when you have the top end talent. And these teams didn't get it done, man. Unfortunately. Who's the next? What's the next team that's going to hit that? Like
I'm hoping not the Celtics.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping it's not the Celtics.
I'm hoping it's not the
Well,
Well,
Celtics.
you could argue that one of those Celtics teams can be in this conversation.
Kyrie?
Now, which one? Maybe it's the Kyrie
Yeah.
Gordon Hayward one.
Maybe
That
it's the one
team
that
was
lost the
stacked
finals
talent.
with the Warriors.
It could be
Yeah.
that one. Could be that one. Let's hope that they don't
But
end up on this list.
They also just got
The
kinda like
Clippers.
similar.
Paul George, Kawhi.
Oh, hell yeah.
added legacy for the Clippers.
Yes.
They're so close to being added to that list. Like they're right there.
They're right there, man.
So-
They got to get it done.
Hopefully it's this year. Hopefully it's this year.
You let us know in the comment section your favorite team to never win an NBA championship, and we'll be down there reading the comments.